Jesus, during your ministry on earth, you showed your power and caring by healing people of all ages and stations of life, from physical, mental, and spiritual ailments. Be present now to people who need your loving touch because of COVID-19. May they feel your power of healing through the care of doctors and nurses. Take away the fear, anxiety, and feelings of isolation from people receiving treatment or under quarantine. Give them a sense of purpose in pursuing health and protecting others from exposure to the disease. Protect their families and friends and bring peace to all who love them. Amen.
God is my shepherd, I won't be wanting, I won't be wanting. Give me rest in fields and green, quiet streams. Even though I walk through the valley of death and dying, I will not fear, you are with me, you're always with me. The shepherd's staff comforts me, on my feast, the presence of enemies, and surely goodness will follow me, follow me, the house of God forever. God is my shepherd, I won't be wanting, I won't be wanting. He makes me rest in fields and green, like quiet streams. Even though I walk through the valley of death and dying, I will not fear, for you are with me, you're always with me. The shepherd's staff comforts me, you're on my feast, in the presence of enemies, and surely goodness will follow me, the house of God forever.
Now, the two verses I'll be talking about today are Philippians 4:13 and Isaiah 41 through 1 through 20. And both of these verses touch a lot on the strength that God gives us. So Philippians 4:13 goes, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. So during this stressful period in our lives, the fear that we will be weakened by the disease is very haunting. We're reminded by this verse that we will find strength in Jesus in everything that we do, and without him we have no strength at all. This verse is meant to encourage us for the challenges to come. Isaiah 41, the helper of Israel, says, "Be silent before me, you islands. Let the nations renew their strength. Let them come forward and speak. Let us meet together at the place of judgment." So during this verse, we understand the call to listen for God's call to unite in order to ensure us that we are united for God, not against him. In verse 2, "Who has stirred up from one of the east, calling him in righteousness to his service. His hands of nations over to him, and subsides kings before him. He turns them to dust with his sword, to windblow chaff with his bow. He pursues them and moves on unscathed, by a path his feet have not traveled before. Who has done this and carried it through, calling forth the generations from the beginning? I, the Lord, with the first of them, and with the last, I am he." This verse reminds us that God is completely in control and can subdue any evil. With this, we find reassurance that God is using Corona to his power in order to allow us the time to grow deeper in our faith. Although God does not want us as Christians to suffer, everything that happens to us is in his power and plan. Verse 9 goes, "I said, you are my servant. I have chosen you and have not rejected you." The verse that God has chosen us and has not rejected us allows us to truly feel the weight that although God knows everything about us and that we are truly wanted, we should use our servantship towards this time to spread the gospel and to volunteer and provide support for those battling Corona. And verse 10, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." Many of us are nervous during this pandemic, and we must hush this fear with the knowledge that the Lord is with us. In our pain and fear, he is on our side. "The poor and needy search for water, but there is none." This is verse 17. "But I, the Lord, will answer them. The God of Israel will not forsake them. I will make rivers flow of barren heights and springs within the valleys. I will turn the desert into pools of water and the parts into springs. I will put the desert, the cedar and the acai, the myrtle and the olive. I will set junipers in the wasteland, the fir and the cypress together." So this shows that even though it can be a barren wasteland, even the items of nature are poor in circumstance, they are taken care of. And similar to us, even though we're going through harsh times in our lives, God will restore us again, and he is still looking out for us. And verse 20, "So that people may see and know, may consider and understand, that the hand of the Lord has done this, that the Holy One of Israel has created." So whenever we take our daily walk, we are reminded of God's amazing power and his ability to create this nature, and is using it all for his glory.